Yo, what's going on YouTube? This your boy Kamen Zero Spike back again once again. And today, people, today we're here for Avataro Sentai DonBrothers episode 42. In this episode, there wasn't a lot in this episode at all. It was kind of like a Shinichi kind of built episode. But why build up Shinichi now, if especially with only so many episodes left? But this episode isn't very much to talk about. It's basically the team basically getting rid of a swindler. He's a swindler dude. And they're all pretending to be a family, except Tato. But Tato's kind of excluded because he can't lie, because if he lies, he dies, stuff like that. So they all basically are pretending to be a family. At first, it's just Shinichi, Kijino, and Haruka. But eventually, you know, Jiru and Tsubasa and Tato do get in on it. Even Kaito is in on it. But yeah, this guy, he's a swindler. He pretends to be he basically pretends to be a shaman of sorts, and he basically comes to people's houses and tells them that they're being haunted by, you know, spirits or evil spirits or demons or stuff like that, and he comes and wards them off. And after that, he just pretends to be that way until he eventually gets really close with the family to the point where he robs them of all their like expensive or most expensive things and stuff like that. He basically robs them and he moves on, and he's big huge swindler dude. So essentially the team is trying to find a way to get this guy arrested essentially. But we do get a scene with the Sarah brand. They're actually training together, stuff like that, and they actually start talking about Tsubasa, and they start talking about Murasame, and they're wondering why is Murasame teaming up with Tsubasa, even though he was made, you know, to be Tsubasa's enemy and stuff like that. So he's wondering, like, why is he doing that? We say that Sonoza comes up with the idea that Murasame is basically out for like self-discovery. He's basically on a journey of self-discovery, things like that. And you see that Sonoi is like, yeah, there's something is really bound to happen if he stays with Tsubasa. And we see Sononi is got that classic turn to the side evil smile thing got going on, which I'm still thinking that she is a bestial. But with that being said, we see that everybody kind of pretends and stuff, basically pretending to be a family to get this guy arrested. Essentially, we see that Shinichi's basically himself, but Haruka is his sister, and Kijino is the mom and the dad, and and they bring in Tsubasa ends up getting in on it when they were all standing there at the cafe. Tsubasa walks in and he almost blows their covers, but that's when Shinichi goes and basically gives him the situation of what's going on. Also, the running joke in this episode for Tato is that he has the hiccups the entire episode. And yeah, so where they also didn't involve Tato for a while, and then Tato's like, have those guys, he asks Kaito, he's like, have those guys always been like a family? What's going on? And then like Kaito's like, yeah. That's basically just it. You know how Kaito just gives those one-worded answers sometimes, just like, yeah, they've always been a family. I'm like, oh man. So oh god. So we end up seeing that Jiru actually ends up getting in on it as well, but Tsubasa is Haruka's boyfriend and Jiru is also her boyfriend. So hey, it's the first time coming to my house. But we end up seeing that throughout the episode he's actually trying to figure out what's their most prized possessions. He even tells them what demons or spirits that he thinks that they are possessed by or haunted by. And so that's when Tato actually comes in. Tato comes in delivering some meat from Kaito, and that's when they try to get him to leave and stuff like that, but they ended up getting him in on it anyway. He was also still trying to figure out the whole situation in his head before he got there. Why he was there. So he ended up Haruka ended up taking him and actually telling him about what's actually going on, and about what actually going on, and he's like, "Yeah, she's like, are you sure you want to die if you lie?" And he's like, "No, I've grown." So it seems like Kaito really did. I mean, he it does happen in the episode, but it seems like he was able to lie to an extent. He was able to lie to an extent in this episode where he just didn't full on freaking die. But yeah, so he eats that. So that the dude, they all eat dinner with him and things like that, and we end up seeing that he tries to rob them in the middle of the night, and while he tries to rob them, he starts seeing how crazy everybody actually is. Because this team, they pretty crazy. He starts to see how crazy these people actually are, and he ends up running out of the place because they end up scaring him, and he ends up transforming into the Gold Ranger Hitotsuki. They even do the whole Gold Ranger ultimate attack where they pass a football around, charging it up, and then they end up kicking it and hitting them. Yeah, he even did that. We see that while they're fighting him in his Hitotsuki form. We did see that Kaito actually, Jiru, Tado. Oh my god, I said, oh my god, it's 3 in the morning. I'm sorry, but Tado. I'm doing it again. Tado actually transforms into Golden Momotaro, but he actually uses the Ninja form. So he ends up turning into Golden Ninja, essentially, and he ends up using all the ninja powers and things like that, basically take down this Hitotsuki. We end up seeing that him and Jiru, well, Turbolt, end up taking him, end up destroying him, and we end up getting our giant mech fight, which was the Gold Ranger Hitotsuki kind of mech fight. We actually see that he actually can clone himself. He actually cloned himself into 5, and they actually did the entire sequence of the Gold Ranger ultimate attack, and actually ended up hitting them pretty hard. But in the end, they ended up defeating him, and he ends up getting arrested. When they do arrest him, they see that the rest of the team kind of apologizes to Tado for kind of leaving him out. I know what that feels like. End up leaving him out of the whole debacle, even though they did have a good reason for it. He still got left out, so they ended up apologizing to him, and he still has hiccups by the end of the episode. But other than that, there was nothing really in this episode to really go back on, except for anything lore heavy to go back on, except with the whole Sarah brand stuff and the Murasame stuff. But other than all, it was just that. It was just an episode. I mean, it felt very fillery. I guess it was kind of like an end of the year kind of episode, especially with the Tsubasa jumping up and clicking his heels. It was weird. It was random as hell, and it was weird. He did it perfectly. I was like, yo, legs. But other than that, man, this episode was just an episode. I mean, it was okay. Some of the jokes weren't really hitting for me. I guess this is basically like the weakest episode of DonBrothers. It really is. I mean, we're almost like the tail end of the series anyway. But other than that, you guys let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think about this episode of Avataro Sentai DonBrothers, and I'm going to see you guys next time. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and remember, stay henshined.